Hey, it's your old pal Slim, and this is 70 Millimeter, a podcast for film lovers. Every Monday, I'm joined by famous artist Danny Haas. And spiritual advisor Proto Lexus.
You know, sometimes Danny pisses me off. He doesn't take Letterboxd seriously, and I don't like it.
And together, as friends forever, we discuss recently watched movies. This episode, we're kicking off Blockbusted Month. Movies that underperformed at the box office big time. I chose 2008's Speed Racer from the Wachowskis. Box office dud or visual feast for the eyes? Let's dig in now.
I have an update to give.
Oh my.
People have been asking about this constantly for, I think, the better part of a year. People have been wanting to know, when are we going to cover Mortal Engines?
Oh my gosh.
And I have an update.
Oh no.
It's coming soon.
Excuse me?
It's on the list of movies to do. Yes, Forrest, it's right around the corner.
Is that the update?
That's the update.
Oh,
Thank you.
Mortal
right
Engines.
around the corner.
Right around the corner.
Mortal Engines, oft requested
Mm-hmm.
really early on. That might have been like our fourth episode,
Yeah.
but we changed path,
Yeah, we don't have a date for it yet, a specific date, but
Mhm.
but it's coming.
it's coming.
Okay.
Soon.
Appreciate your bravery.
Seat of my pants.
You want to talk about bravery? Should we just get into the topic right now? Godzilla versus Kong.
I want to
Right
hear
off
you
the
too.
bat.
I haven't watched it
I'm
yet,
into
but
it.
you can talk about it. Go for it.
Spoiler free.
I mean, can you spoil this movie?
Spoiler free. I mean, spoilers. Godzilla and Kong fight.
Okay.
I'm just gonna try to keep it as spoiler free as possible.
Mm-hmm.
My past with these legendary movies is well known. The first two Godzilla movies didn't cut the mustard for me. Kong Skull Island, though, did. And let me tell you something. This movie cuts the mustard big time. I gave it 5 stars.
Wait, is custom mustard good for you?
I guess I hate mustard, so maybe it is
Yeah.
bad. But in general phrasing terms,
Right.
cutting the mustard is considered a good thing. Cutting the mustering the custard.
Can you even cut mustard?
Frozen mustard. Let me try a different way to say it.
Say it.
This ticks all the boxes for me.
How's this compare to Shin Godzilla for you?
Here's how I view it.
Okay.
Big picture view, 100-foot view. My son and I have been waiting for this movie for like 3 years. When they first announced it, I was like, James, they're making a Godzilla vs. King Kong movie. Years go by. So I told him the Wednesday morning, I was like, James, it's coming out today. 5:30, we're watching this. So 5:30 rolled around. He's like up in my room screaming. He's like, Godzilla vs. Kong, we got to watch it. So we had a great time. I loved it. It's, I think technically I gave it a half star more than Shin Godzilla. I had a lot of fun. The whole time I was just so entertained. Even the silly stuff, I was just cracking up, enjoying. And compared to the other Godzilla movies, the human stuff, IMO, stunk. But in this one,
I was wondering if you wanted to whine about the human stuff as well.
first of all, calm down. I can hear it already.
Just want to know if you wanted to.
You're on the attack.
Just wanted to know.
Your claws are out. But this time around, I thought the human stuff was fine. They had good actors.
Millie Bobby?
I'm not talking about Millie Bobby in particular. But Prado, what's your vibe? You gave it 3.
My God, good actors. This is a reason why, when you even have just a mindless summer blockbuster movie, you get a big name because they can act. The cast was terrible in this. I think the human parts are worse than King of the Monsters.
Oh my God.
God.
This
What?
So bad.
Rebecca Hall, ever heard of her?
This is actually which one was she?
The main female actress in the movie.
Yeah, I finished it yesterday. I've already forgotten.
I feel sick.
This is a 2-star movie, but because of the greatest monster of all time, Kong, he raised it up a whole star to 3. It's worth seeing just for him and what he does. But it's pretty bad. 50% of the movie is complete garbage. The part with the monsters is worth it though. It really is. It's pretty incredible.
Oh man. This time tomorrow night, I'll be getting out of the theater, seeing Kong versus Godzilla.
I'm excited to hear
Big
what Danny
screen.
thinks. Danny, you gave King of the Monsters 5 stars, right?
No,
Something like that.
Did I? No,
4 stars.
It's got to be 4. It's so much fun.
Torin in chat, he is pissed. Torin I think he gave this movie like a half star, and he's furious. He was linking to Wikipedia articles about the movie, the bad writing. He wants to slap somebody in the mouth about this movie. But I agree that this is, I'm fine with, Proto giving this movie 3 stars. This is like never been done. I wouldn't have expected it. I'm pretty pleased with that rating. Had a lot of fun.
Interesting. I'm glad.
Thank you. Dating, did you watch any movies this week?
Yeah, I watched a lot of movies this week. You picked Speed Racer on a perfect week for me because Sunday was, opening day for F1 racing. I'm an F1 fan. So I jumped into a bunch of racing movies. I watched Le Mans with Steve McQueen.
Is that French?
Sure. And I really liked it. I gave it 3 stars. It has very little dialogue in it. It's a lot of walking and racing, which you would think would be great. But it just was weird and okay. But the racing bits were a lot of fun to watch. And Steve McQueen's cool. I watched Grand Prix. And that movie was on my radar because of the book you bought me, Slim, the Saul Bass book.
Arcane.
And he does a bunch of the title treatments, and it's just I gave that 5 stars. It is a gorgeous movie. Like the cinematography in that film is unreal. There were so many scenes where I just couldn't figure out. I mean, I just couldn't figure out how they did it back then. Of the cars, and it was beautiful. Like it was a beautiful movie. It's really long, but I just enjoyed it. It's great. And then I watched Rush with Thor and the other guy from one of the Marvel movies, and that was
the one that
great
sings.
movie.
Is it Hawkeye?
I don't know. Zemo. Yeah.
Zemo. Skarsgård.
No. Bruhl, Daniel Bruhl. It's a great movie. Rush was a lot of fun. It's a really good story. I knew only a bit of the rivalry from the F1 stories, and I knew about the crash, but it's great. It's a great movie.
Yeah, I was going to ask. Mel brought up Bullet in chat. Have you ever seen Bullet?
A lot. I've seen Bullet quite a bit. I love Bullet. Bullet's it's a lot of fun. That was on one of my early lists for the show to do Bullet on here. Yeah. Bullet is incredible.
One of my all-time favorite cars. That Mustang.
That Mustang is no joke.
Tell you what.
And then today, rounding off some of my race car movies, I watched Days of Thunder for the first time. Now, I know we can't get into too much Tom talk. So
you can get into it. This is a view. This wasn't a future prezzo for this show. Disclaimer: I do a podcast about Tom Cruise, but
so
go right ahead.
my family's a big NASCAR family growing up. This movie felt like one of those movies where it was like their Star Wars, and so my dad watched it a bunch. The VHS was always laying around, and I felt like I kept telling myself I'd probably seen this movie, but today was the first day I actually put it on to watch it all the way through, and I got to tell you, at the end of it, I was like hype for this movie. I don't know what did it for me. The soundtrack by Hans Zimmer, Tom, Nicole, the Tom and Robert Duvall scenes got me good.
Duvall is so good in that movie.
Duvall is so good in this movie. So many fun scenes. I think the story is kind of whatever, but I give it 5 stars. I may watch it again and bring it down lower once I dig into it, but I had so much fun with this movie. It was just great.
Proto, you left a comment on Danny's review for Days of Thunder. Do you want to elaborate on that?
I did. Sometimes Danny pisses me off. He doesn't take Letterboxd seriously. And I don't like it. I don't like that he plays games, that it's not sacred to him, that he doesn't see this as, cataloging and creating a historical record for movies that we watch.
Okay.
And he says, this is really like some other rating, but then, flippantly gives it 5 stars for who knows what's going on in his head.
Yeah.
But I have a righteous anger directed towards him.
It's righteous.
And I couldn't contain it anymore. I have to let him know that what he's doing is wrong.
Did Proto just say that Kong vs. Godzilla was a 2-star movie, but he gave it 3?
Wow.
Danny, don't try to twist my words against me. Don't try to twist my words.
Proto, where is this rule book that I need to follow for Letterboxd?
It's in my head, all right? If you have questions, just come to me and I'll give you the answer. It's not that hard.
That's all the movies I watched. You got sexual tension between me and Proto?
I was about to say the sexual energy between Nicole and Tom, but you cut me off.
Listen,
was off the charts. I mean, the energy between you two, whatever it is, it's also steaming.
Palpable.
It's palpable. You could cut it with a knife. You could cut the mustard with it. But I do want to call out, before we get to Proto's films, maybe some more anime, manga, whatever he's getting into on the side. I don't know. It's going to probably be freaky. But we have some new friends that joined our Patreon this week that I want to call out. $4 a month, and you can have access to our Discord, listen live during the week, chat about movies during the week, and just make some new friends. And joining this week, Celia, Ewan, Nicole, Kevin, Jordan, Emily, Will, and Matt. So nice new cast of friends that joined this week. Some of them very talented in their own right. See those jean jackets?
Oh my gosh, those jean jackets. Holy cow.
We have a lot of talented people in our Discord.
Makes me
it's
sick.
Crazy.
It makes me honestly sick.
I love it. Personally, I love it.
And every week we give away a free year of Letterboxd Pro to friends of the show that share the show on social media, get rid of ads, and a host of features. And if you're a patron, we can talk about a feature later. But this week's winner is AIC Stories on Twitter, Adventures in Creativity Production. And those are fiction podcasts from David. So, David, congratulations.
Congrats.
We have a lot to get to. We didn't even bring up how Speed Racer is our featured presentation this week for Blockbusted Month. My pick. Never seen it till this week. Box office bombs. That's our theme this month. Underperforming movies. Proto will be announcing his later. Proto, what did you watch this week?
Well, you mentioned anime, and I'll just let everybody know what's up with that. I started Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, baby.
And YK. Okay? I'll just leave it at that. I'm 2 episodes in. More to get into.
Never heard anyone out loud say that. And my brain was processing it so slowly. Like, what did I just hear?
But movie-wise, I got to a movie that's been on my list for a long time. Les Samurai by Jean-Pierre Melville. And this movie, I said I called it pornographic.
My gosh.
It's about a hitman in Paris who's very meticulous and very good at his job, but some things go wrong with his latest hit, and he has to try to sort it out with the police and with his client. I gave it 3 stars. It's really very stylish, very cool movie. I felt like it kind of fell a little flat for me story-wise, but I think it's worth watching. It's very cool. I'm looking forward to watching more movies. The guy who plays Jeff, he's amazing.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a snack? This guy,
Snack delicious. You talk about sexual energy.
Yeah,
that guy.
Oh yeah. There's a scene early on where him and this girl are they're looking at each other through the car windows, and you could cut that mustard with a knife in that moment. The tension.
How about
also another thing?
Hold on. How about the
ahead.
art that you created for that movie? You were on a kick this week.
Yeah, I drew a little art.
You were procreating this week hard.
Proto-creating.
Yes.
Proto-creating.
Proto-creating. I'm trying to learn a little Procreate.
Love it.
Doing great
it's hard.
so far.
It's hard, but it's
Dabble.
yeah, I'm having fun with it. What else did I watch? Let's see. Oh God.
I mean, we don't have to.
Let's not talk about it.
Yeah, bring it up. Please.
What is it? What is it?
So our friends over at the Cinenauts, they're watching
there it is.
They're watching the movie The Brood.
Chuck had it ready in chat. He screenshotted the review and pasted it in chat. Oh my God.
Which is a David Cronenberg movie, The Brood. It's 1979. And, I don't think I've given a positive rating to any Cronenberg movie that I've seen so far. I think the most is I might have given 3 stars to The Fly. But his movies are really, they're always interesting. Like the subject matter is crazy. I don't know what to compare it to. It's like, there's a lot of things that you do that it feels like a bad idea. And then when you do it, it's good. Cronenberg's like the reverse, where you think it's a good idea, and then when you're in the midst of it, you're like, I made a mistake watching this. But even with that said, giving The Brood 1 star, I'm looking forward to watching his other movies. I'm going to watch all of them. I have to.
Wow.
Yeah, I gave The Brood 1 star. I did not care for that movie. I thought it was kind of
dumb as hell.
Silly. I mean, the ideas were great. Like Cronenberg has great ideas. It just kind of fell flat, the delivery for me. That's all.
I was looking up my review. I think I watched that last year maybe for the first time, and I just couldn't get over how that one guy was overpowered by kids. He couldn't just beat those kids up in that one scene.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
The scenes where
kid gore?
Where people are attacked, I'm just not buying it. I'm just not buying what Cronenberg's putting down
Kid
in those
gore.
scenes.
I watched, speaking of kid gore, I watched Assault on Precinct 13 last week, the week before that. Some girl gets shot in the first 5 minutes of that movie.
The ice
Point
cream?
blank. Yeah, it was crazy.
Spoilers, but goddamn, that shit was.
I brought up the Patreon. I meant to mention how we are doing another exclusive episode for our patrons, our VHS villagers, and we're leaving it all on the table for the patrons this time around. There is some kind of, I'm doing air quotes, like alleged fraud, alleged, choosing votes. I can't do the air quotes enough right now.
Get out your tinfoil hats.
Yeah. So now we have just set the theme, and it's a classic musical that was released before 1980. It's all on them to choose it now. They can set up the brackets. They can just choose a movie. They don't even need to do brackets. But if you're in the Discord, the time is now to rock the vote and choose our musical movie. What do you think they're going to choose, Bredo?
Knowing them,
Is there a singing possum in any of them?
Oh, yeah, singing animals.
Mm-hmm.
We could be in for trouble.
Oh, no. Is that Muppets?
Xanadu just got mentioned by Chuck. Chuck's probably still sour after this Cronenberg review, to be honest.
He's
Yeah,
pissed.
Chuck, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Chuck. Sorry what I did to you. They're gonna fail at being able to pick a movie and come to an agreement, and we're just gonna have to pick.
Yeah.
That's usually
This
what happens.
episode officially will be released on Monday, so they have until Thursday when we record Proto's episode next week to reveal their pick for the exclusive episode. But we're running out of tape. We have a lot of show to get to. It's time for Speed Racer. Speed Racer from the Wachowskis. And this is 2008. You know, I made this pick for Blockbusted Month. Proto, do you want to strap us in, take us for a ride, and explain Speed Racer?
First name Speed, last name Racer, for those who haven't watched the movie. Speed Racer is an artist on the racetrack. He drinks petrol, chews on tires, dreams of chassis. Chassis is the correct plural pronunciation of chassis. I looked it up. And he smells like burnt rubber. He was born to race. It's in his blood, and his skills are getting noticed. Royalton of Royalton Industries, owner of one of the largest corporations in the racing scene, wants Speed to join Royalton's other 350 racers as he pursues the dream of racing in the Grand Prix. But when Speed turns down the offer, a much more sinister reality begins to appear around the entire racing world. Now at odds with Royalton, the entire racer family must work together to expose the corruption that is destroying their beloved sport and win the Grand Prix, setting all things right once and for all.
I had no idea his name was Speed Racer.
Did you never watch the cartoon?
I never watched the cartoon. I'm totally
okay.
oblivious. So I went in very blind for this entire movie. Knew nothing. I knew there was like a cartoon thing. I knew Racer X. I thought Racer X looked really cool. I always used to think he was Cyclops, and this was like an animated show with the X-Men, but I was way wrong.
You were
Dan,
wrong.
you have a couple copies of this movie. How many times have you seen this?
I haven't seen it a lot. I saw it opening weekend IMAX 3D, and then I bought it on Blu-ray when it came out. So I've loved Speed Racer as a cartoon for a long time. It was probably one of the first animes I had watched, I believe. And then the live action came out, and so I haven't watched it in years, but I'm glad we finally came around to it.
Berto, what about you? Did we talk about this last week? I can't remember what your backstory is with Speed Racer.
I definitely saw some of the cartoon as a child, but I don't remember much of it. And I don't think I saw it in theater. It must have been after at some point.
Lana and Lily Wachowski made the Matrix trilogy and then do Speed Racer after this. What a follow-up, right? What a very strange and interesting follow-up to have.
Well, I think this is just the movie they wanted to make right after The Matrix. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how the sequels did in the box office, but I would imagine after creating a franchise like The Matrix, maybe they were just given
Carte blanche.
Carte blanche to do what they wanted to.
I mean,
so much of their stuff is heavily anime influenced. I wonder how much connection the Wachowskis had growing up to Speed Racer. Because, I mean, so much of their stuff just kind of relies on that fantastical element that anime brings.
Yeah. So one of the first items on this watch, my list, that I brought to the top was this entire movie has a look. You know, it's like it seems like it's all green screen, pretty much.
It is.
It feels like real life animation. I don't know. It's kind of hard to describe because I don't know if I've seen CGI in a movie like this before. It's kind of hard to explain. Perto, what did you think rewatching this?
Yeah. Remembering what it's like, the first scene where it really hits you in the face is where I guess Speed goes out to see his brother Rex out at the car, and like the whole background, the whole neighborhood is green screen, and it's like the colors are so bright and so saturated that it kind of hits you in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you feel like you're looking at a cartoon. It feels almost like the reverse of Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Well, you know, I try to figure out a way to, like, I would describe this as like, instead of it being like a live action made, like it feels like it's a live action cartoon. Like it's a cartoon of itself. And so like, also, like literally, I mean, there's very few sets even remotely built for this movie. And what I love about it is even the backgrounds were all actual, like photography of locations that are just kind of placed in these like panes of almost like that, like layered animation feel that Disney was doing with the glass, like different panes, different levels, different layers of scenery. And honestly, it took me a good, I don't know, 10 minutes to get adjusted to what I was watching, knowing that it's the whole film, because it's hard. It's hard to get used to because you're just not, you can't compare this to any movie you've seen. This isn't like some other full CG movie. I mean, there's so much green screen in like, you know, the prequel Star Wars and stuff like that, but it's not in your face like this is. Like this had no shame with the fact that it was full CG. Like it was like promoting it basically.
Yeah, I was watching it, and was it you who told me you saw it in 3D?
Yeah, I saw it in 3D.
I was like crapping my pants thinking about seeing this movie in 3D. I would probably have an aneurysm during like the final racing sequence. I don't know if I'd be able to handle it.
It was incredible.
Yeah, the thing that's wild about it too is that because there's so much CG, it feels like the camera isn't even grounded in some. There's like no anchor in the screen because they do this thing where there will be maybe two characters on the screen and they'll be moving like at a different depth to one another, but then also the background is moving in a different way that doesn't really make any sense. And it gives you that anime feel of like space as almost like abstract, where you're not grounded in any like physicality. It's really just using the movement to communicate something other than like a real space. And they do that in this, and it's jarring as you watch it because it doesn't make sense in the real world. So I think what Danny was saying about it feeling like a live action cartoon is right, because they play with that idea of like the like physical space in interesting ways that I can't really think of another movie that does it quite like this. My first note is I want that TV they have in the house.
Yes, 100%. I had the same note.
They got like this TV that has just like these super, I don't even know what that's, I guess it's like an old tube TV with like the rounded corners, like super rounded. Just amazing to watch anything on that. God, I'd love to have something like that.
100% agree. Dana, what about you? What's on your list?
I mean, I have a lot to talk about. I think probably one of my favorite things about this film is I think John Goodman is absolutely incredible in this film. I think he plays such a good, he has such a great like character arc too, where he has to do the same thing twice with two different sons. And he learns from his first mistake with how he treated like Rex. And so like, you know, he had that line where he says, if you walk out that door, don't ever come back, or that classic like dad line in a movie. But when it happens again for Speed, he has like a great sit down moment with him. And I just feel like John was like, he had to have been having like the time of his life making this film, right? Because he's the old dude on set. But it's this new, like the full CG, like he had to have been out of his element, but he still seemed like he cared about this film. And I just love him in it. I love him as a dad. I love John Goodman as a dad. He's such a dad. He also seems like a giant person. Like,
yes,
I want to meet him just to stand next to him because he feels like he's like 7 foot tall. Like I don't know. I love him. He's just I want to hug him.
Marcy's asking if this is the greatest cinematic mustache.
Oh my gosh. Yes. It's quite good.
Yeah, maybe they filmed him kind of like Lord of the Rings style to make him seem bigger too than he actually was.
He just seemed gigantic, especially his fight scenes where he fights the ninjas.
Oh yeah. That scene especially, he looked gigantic.
My next note, obviously I'm going to bring up about how this movie isn't in 4K. There's no UHD version of this. It's obviously screaming for a UHD Dolby Vision edition. However, the HD copy that I watched of this movie is gorgeous.
Yeah.
The quality of this movie in HD 1080p is beautiful. Like I even like got tricked. I was like, am I watching a 4K version? Are they accidentally serving me up 4K? Because everything was so clean on the characters' faces. And I was really trying to wonder, like, how are they doing this? Even the shadows were just deep blacks. Everything was beautiful. But then I was starting to wonder, I was like, okay, they're actually just artificially lighting this movie the whole time. So everyone's face has just, the fullest like amount of light on them, showing every pore. But I will say that it just looks amazing in 1080p. Like I'm pretty pleased with even just this. Like obviously a 4K version would be great, but this movie looks amazing as it is today.
There's so many close-up shots too of their faces and like the helmets and the cars and the reflections. And there's so much that could look bad if just like a bad upscaling is going on. But you're right. I mean, I watched on 1080p thinking the stream I was getting from whatever we were using, the My Movies Anywhere app, it looked really clean, like really good. I mean, some of the like CG race scenes, just a little bit of, I don't know how much work goes into doing 4K, but a little touching up of those scenes and whew, be amazing.
Oh, man, I feel like my TV would melt if I put this in UHD.
Well, yeah, I thought that I think it looked really good, but I don't know if I liked the way the animation was done, where they communicated speed, obviously, but it was almost too chaotic to really tell what was going on in a lot of the race scenes. Like, yeah, these cars are supposed to be moving fast, but I feel like it almost would have benefited from, I hate to say it, but like slow motion at certain parts to be able to tell like what was going on. Because there was a lot of those scenes where I know there was detail, but the way that it was moving, almost as if it was it looked like I was watching like a sped up tape. Like it was going at 2x speed, where I couldn't make anything out of what I was seeing. And at that point I would kind of just check out. It just seemed like very busy on the screen, but I couldn't tell what was going on. And almost at the most exciting parts, I was losing interest because of that.
The action just takes so much getting used to. The track, the visuals of the race experience. I feel like it's unlike any visual experience you've probably seen. So it does take a lot to get used to. The racing didn't really take me out of it so much, but I felt like the movie was probably a little bit too long. Like some of the Grand Prix or the race that they got in to get back into the fight, the rally race, I did kind of tune out a little bit. Like 2 hours of Speed Racer doesn't make sense to me. Like 90-minute Speed Racer, like this movie would probably hum a little bit faster. What did you think, Danny?
I love the problem is I like this film already, so I don't mind the 2 hour time frame, and also I love racing, so it just felt like it just was like this culmination of everything that I kind of love. It was like the anime, the animation, the car racing. It felt like a video game. It felt like I was playing like San Francisco Rush or something ridiculous like that with these different vehicles. And so I don't mind the runtime. I do think like a little bit of the chopping up. There's a couple scenes that just mob bosses talking that is just like slowly pushing the story along, but it's not really necessary, really. I mean, we get the gist of what they're trying to do. So, yeah, I can see cutting up a little bit, but I enjoy it already.
Yeah, I agree about the rally race. I think that was the portion that I liked the least of the racing. Whereas whenever they were on a track, seeing the way they would drift in and out of the turns is just tops.
Mm-hmm.
Like that stuff was dynamite. And anytime a car exploded, the way the driver was put into that like jelly cube, like ball or whatever.
Yeah.
That was so neat. And even the gadgets, one of the gadgets I love, I think it is in the rally race where, the cars are tricked out with all like these illegal tools to fight. And one is there was like this razor blade, and then Speed has this shield that comes out, but then they're controlled by like little joysticks that they're moving with their thumbs, and they're having like this like sword fight while going
a little mini game.
Like 150 miles an hour through the desert right next to each other. And it's so ridiculous and over the top, but it was so fun. I kind of wish there was more of that. They did a lot of the, I don't even know what that's called, but like the jump boost where he hits like the boost and he would like flip over the cars. Like that stuff is crazy and was a lot of fun. I kind of wish there was more of that nonsense in this.
The car foo that they were doing. That's what they called it.
What else is on your list, Danny? You probably have a bunch.
Well, we were talking about the race scenes. I love that desert race scene. For me, there's so much about the design of this film that I love, but I have always loved the Mach 5 Speed's car.
Oh.
That design of the Mach 5 is, I mean, what we see of 5 is almost identical to what they did in the cartoon. And then when they do the 6, the Mach 6 is just it's just like chef kiss. Perfect design. Right. I mean, car designs alone get me good. I mean, I love them, but I have a model of the Mach 5. It's just, I just love seeing it on the big screen like this in the live action. It was so good. Like so good. And they did so many designs. Like I looked into some of the making ofs, and they had over like, I want to say they had over 100 different cars designed for the rally scenes, and they had to create their own, like, so, like rally cars and Indy cars, they all have their like sponsors on the side. They created over 400 different brands, like out of the blue, to put on these cars. And there's actually one car that has every sticker that they're created on it. So there's just so much about the design of this film that I just couldn't get over. It just was the color as well. I mean, the color is off the charts in this film, but I love it. I just love looking at all this. Every scene has a different theme. It just felt like the palette of this was just nonstop. It was incredible.
The one scenes where it looked like they had a real Mach 5 like in the corner. I was always like, oh, is that real back there? And I was like gawking at it.
They had two built cars that didn't have engines. They had one Mach 5 built, and they had Racer X's yellow like hot rod built as well, so that they can do a couple of the scenes with what's his name? Fox from Lost, and
Matthew Shepard.
Yeah, Matthew Fox. Matthew Shepard?
Matthew Fox.
Fox.
Matthew Shepard?
Shepard Fox.
Yeah, so they made a couple of them, a couple of the cars.
I enjoyed the Racer X storyline too. Again, like since I was a kid, I just remember thinking that character looked really cool as a kid. So I didn't know any of the potential backstory with the brother and how Speed thought that was his brother. He raced the same. He knew where to find him, and he told him he wasn't. So while I was watching this, I was like, oh, dang, it would have been cool if that was his brother.
I love that reveal.
Then, like later in the movie, it's revealed that he actually is. And I was like, oh, snap. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I loved all that stuff for sure.
Yeah. Super rad.
Is it, I guess it's the same in the animated show that's his brother?
Oh, I actually don't know. I don't remember that. It might be.
I'm saying yep, Torin, Marcy say yes.
Yeah. It seemed like it was. The design of Racer X2 felt like it was right off the page as well. There's a couple of differences, but I love those stupid glasses he wears.
Mel says imagine Keanu or it's Racer X. What's wrong with Matthew Fox?
Matthew Fox looked good too. I mean, he was hot off Lost
fight
then.
scene?
Oh yeah. He was
like Bruce Lee.
He looked
body
great.
wise.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, calm down. We're not going to recast
Oh my
Matthew
God.
just yet. Talk about a movie that killed his career.
What's the main bad guy's name?
Royalton.
Royalton. Someone said it in Discord today. It might have been Sean, but the moment he was on screen, I was thinking, man, imagine Tim Curry as this guy. Like the whole time I was watching this movie, and I think someone said it in chat today. And I was like, oh yes, exactly. But I thought he was great. I didn't know it wasn't really obvious that he was going to be the main antagonist, at least for me on this viewing, being Clueless. But I loved when he kind of flipped the switch and went super bad guy, revealed to him that the races were quote unquote fixed. And so I enjoyed that part of the movie and his role in that. But again, would have loved Tim Curry, you know?
Yeah, I love that sequence when Royalton takes them to his tower and is showing them around inside. The one scene that has always stayed with me, this actually comes later, but is when Speed goes back to tell him no. And what's his little, is it Spritle? His little brother goes with with the monkey. And then they're on they're on like the little like go-kart in there, and the music's playing, and that sequence, to me, I feel like that's the most iconic part of this movie because it's so ridiculous the way it moves, all these people moving around on the segways behind them. That's just when I think of this movie, I think of that scene.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. All their scenes were pretty funny, and even the intro to the movie where he has a line about how he expects his brother to win the race and break the time record to start the movie.
Nobody's gonna catch him. He's gonna win it. He's gonna set the course record. Nobody's gonna stop him.
Quiet, Speed. Still a lot of race to go.
No way. It's over. My brother's the best racer in the world. Everyone else is running for second.
I love that like confidence in a brother, and really just like the family had in him. That was like so heartwarming to start the movie.
Yeah.
So all of his scenes were hilarious and fun.
I like that in that first race where he lets off the gas so it doesn't beat his brother's record, so it doesn't erase his name from the scoreboard.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just
good.
Killer.
It's the most wholesome family in cinema.
Some of my other notes I had was when Royalton, I think he's talking about like a masseuse available 24/7, but his pronunciation is masseurs. Did anyone else catch that? Or was he talking about something
I
else
didn't
and not
catch
really
that,
a masseuse? Masseurs available 24/7. Bex saw it. Thank you, Bex.
I wanted to ask a question. This is Blockbusted month. I didn't do any research on this, so I don't know if you guys did either. But so Speed Racer, at the time, it says that it lost $80 million.
Wow,
that's a lot.
Why? Do you guys have any theories as to why? Like, why didn't this movie work?
Honestly, I don't know.
I mean, they were coming off of the last two Matrix movies, which I feel like was a big letdown for the majority of the Matrix audience. And then they're coming out with like a mainstream Speed Racer movie. I don't know. It seems like I guess the mainstream probably wasn't ready for a Speed Racer Wachowski movie, which I think now it's almost become kind of like a cult movie. But when you put that much money into a movie, I don't know, you pretty much have to know what you're going to get back. And it didn't really work out for them. I don't know. Like when this came out, I was like, I don't care. Like, I have no desire to see a Speed Racer movie and pay $20 to see that. But that was just me. So I guess a lot of people were like that.
In the chat, Pop Fenton said it's the week after Iron Man.
Oh no!
I do remember seeing Iron Man in the theater, but I do not remember seeing Speed Racer
in the theater.
Poor timing playing a factor.
Interesting.
2008 wasn't ready. Quote. Marcy revealing that she graduated high school in 2008. My word.
That's okay.
Iron Man and Hulk. Did Hulk come around the time?
Oof.
My God, what a
My
year.
word.
MCU, Danny's favorite.
Yeah, I just don't think that even Speed Racing wasn't like mainstream for America either.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a hard sell. It would probably have been a hard sell for a lot of it. Mm-hmm. And I caught a lot of it growing up, but I don't think I knew what I was watching. And I watched more Speed Racer when I was in high school, you know, trying to be the cool kid that watched anime. But yeah, I just.
How'd that go for you?
Yeah, you know?
I mean, you see how it's going for Proto right now.
Same as it ever was.
So I don't know. I mean, it's tough. This definitely would have been a tough sell. This is no Days of Thunder.
Yeah. I actually don't have any other notes, I don't think.
And we didn't talk about Christina Ricci yet.
Christina Ricci. A lot of talk about her hair in chat today.
I mean, she looked killer. That hair would look great.
I thought she did pretty well. Proto, what did you think?
Yeah, she was a great Trixie.
Yeah, pretty good. Some of those scenes at the beginning, though, of like her in the car, those were some of the scenes that I think they could have cut to shorten this movie up. There was just like some moments between characters where I don't know, it just seemed kind of bloated.
I do feel like there's some awkward moments with the characters that are like even more awkward because of what you're watching. Like you're still not settled in like the amount of CG you're staring at. So even like some of the conversations feel weird because they're still just reacting to two of them in a giant green room. So I still like some of the performances are a little stiff.
How about the blue in Speed's hair? The blue streaks. Did you catch that?
Excuse me?
Yeah. Speed had like blue streaks in his hair in the beginning of the movie. I thought it was pretty cool looking.
I guess I just assumed it was a reflection from whatever.
Yeah, he had someone can confirm that. I think Bex just did, but I'll get some screenshots. It looked pretty cool. I'm guessing it was to kind of like capture some of the shading in the anime or the cartoon rather. Is it an anime? Is Speed Racer an anime?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Stop steering and start driving. Thought that was a great line. I thought the speech from Matthew Shepard Fox to him after he revealed to him the quote that he wasn't his brother, I thought that was pretty nice. And the entire ending sequence of the race, that is some legit stuff. I was like the entire ending of him trying to win the race. When it was happening, I was like, did I just move to 4 stars right now? Like that, it was so good. That like made up for kind of like all the slow plotting parts, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
I was kind of blown away by that entire final sequence. I guess you were too, Danny.
I mean, that's probably, but I would have said, am I going to 5 stars right now? I mean, that's that final scene. I mean, it's just great. I mean, you'd love a good dueling car scene, but it's just rad. It's so rad. That track was rad. The Mach 6, there's just so much of that design of that finale that is just killer. I love it. I love that the cheating aspect got brought in again just to win. And, just listen to the car. That whole segment was great.
Remnant brings up Kung Fu Panda might have been released that same summer. So another ding against potential money being spent on Speed Racer.
Yeah.
What did you think of the ending of Speed Racer Proto with that race?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty wild. That's what we're all here for.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
That's why we showed up in the theaters back in 2008, that final Grand Prix race.
Anything else on your list for Speed Racer Proto?
No, that's it for me.
Dark Knight was the same summer, Marcy says. My God.
Jesus.
Is there a better year in the history of film than 2008?
I ask
Kung Fu Panda, I ask you. Danny, what else is on your list that we didn't cover yet?
I mean, that's it. That's really it. I mean, I'll just go into it if you guys are done with your list.
Get into it.
I've seen this movie a couple of times, 3D in the theater. I am a fan of Speed Racer. Watching this in 2021, there were moments where I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to give this movie star-wise on Letterboxd, because it's special. Like there's no other film there's no other movie that has ever done what this has done visually. Maybe because it flopped. Maybe because this just didn't work. But I do feel like some of it is still, the tech is still being kind of, even like Mandalorian, the way they do the screens around.
Yeah.
There's so much probably that has stemmed from this that maybe has rippled through cinema, but I don't know. I halfway through this film, I was like, I'm probably just at 4 stars, but that ending got me. I really loved the ending of this film. It sticks the landing. There's just so much I love about this movie. So I'm going to stay at 5 stars.
Wow. Danny pulling a fast one on
What?
his review.
Yeah.
Trolling people into thinking he was going to give it a bad review. 5 stars.
Yeah. If it ends any other way, I don't think it would have stuck with me. Probably would have just stayed around 4. But that the ending is so good. I love the family. I love Speed.
Let's see. I'm just loading up V'ger, the computer, the supercomputer that loves movies that Proto built from scratch on 70mmpod.com. Let's see. Chuck Forsman's review, Trixie. I don't know if that's his. What did he have a one-word review?
Yeah, he did.
Ice cream for the eyes from Wes. Ewan.
Sounds cold.
It's a lot. Expectations were made from Mikey P. Let me click through. Oh, okay. See. Oh my God. Have you guys read Mikey P's review for this?
Let's hear it.
Holy moly. I don't know if I can read the whole thing here. 5 stars from Mikey P though.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
I'll return to the V'ger supercomputer in a moment. Proto, what are your final thoughts?
I was ready to love this movie. I remember liking it when I saw it and thinking it was overlooked and it was a shame. Revisiting it, I was thinking I would even like it even more, but I'm sitting here right now in 2021 and I am shocked at my experience watching this. 90 minutes in, I was ready for this movie to be over. I was so bored. It just was not working on like any level for me. Like I said, the animation, or just like the racing, it just felt too busy. I didn't even really know what I was watching. I love the family stuff. I think some of the writing is really great in here. The whole Racer family is so good. But I was just so bored. I couldn't believe I had another 45 minutes to go. So I got to Proto Lens this. I would tell myself this is a 2-star movie.
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh. They're dropping the Goya Beans Garbanzo emoji in chat right now.
Matt, bring us home.
A lot of stunned faces in chat right now. I will say, Sophie says, I came back for this. Kev forgives you, at least in chat. So I was of the same mind about 3/4 of the way through. Like the whole desert race. A lot of the stuff I felt like let's keep moving here. I'm getting kind of out of it. So, but then the final race happened, and the editing of that final section of that race was some of the best filmmaking I've ever seen.
Oh my.
I don't know. The editing was just unreal in that moment. Cutting to all the characters, hoping he wins. So I love all that family stuff, like family that believes in you and knows that you're the best that you can be or can be. So I'm at 4 stars for Speed Racer. I was pretty shocked by the ending. So
Amazing.
I'm glad I got there. Glad they stuck it for me. Thank you, Forrest. Forrest believes in me. And I believe in the village. And that's what it's all about.
Yes.
So Speed Racer, this is my first pick in Blockbusted month, which Forrest suggested. Glad we got there. The average rating, according to V'ger, Proto Supercomputer, of The Villagers, 4.5 stars. The math does not lie.
Amazing.
We have to get to some VMs. You can leave us an email. You can leave us an audio file, a voicemail at 70mmpod.com. And let me pull up our email machine here real quick. We got a few letters I want to get to.
Okay. Don't miss anybody, Matt.
I try my best. Sometimes it's not enough. Savvy is back.
Okay.
Savannah has emailed us once more. You might remember Savannah from asking us to do a Barbie journey. Hey, yo, it's Savvy. This past week, I had a class assignment to create my own podcast. In short, it was one of the most tedious projects I have ever done. I now realize just how much work goes into recording, editing, and transcribing a show. I personally never want to look at Adobe Audition again. With this new perspective, I just wanted to say thank you for all the work you guys put into the podcast. I look forward to it every week. P.S. Anyone remember those Speed Racer Happy Meal toys? I have a bunch collecting dust somewhere in my closet, and that is from Savvy.
Wow.
What a letter.
Love it.
Did you get those Happy Meals?
No. I think she's
Not
talking
bad.
about this movie's Happy Meals. No, I didn't.
That's what I mean. Did you get the Speed
Oh, no.
Racer Happy Meal toy?
No, Matt. I said no like 5 times.
Part of your thoughts on the work that goes into producing and creating this podcast every week.
It's a lot. It's a lot of work. I mean, we all have a lot of work in our own different ways. Danny has to spend a lot of time in front of the screen doing the art. Slim's got to cut up those files, make that production magic, and I got to stay in my isolation chamber and come up with new ideas.
The idea
for
man.
what we're gonna do down the road. Yeah, I'm the idea man.
He's like William Hurt in Altered States, one of the greatest horror movies ever made.
We all have a role to play.
Forrest is asking, can we get Savvy in Discord? I heard tell that she might be making an appearance in a few weeks in the Discord. We'll see. Next letter comes in from Remnant. Hey, 70mm, longtime listener, first time emailer. I'll keep this quick. Where is the 4K release of Speed Racer?
Yes.
Or at least a better Blu-ray. Would love to watch this movie in theaters again. Love the podcast and keep up the great work. 4K of this is going to be out of sight.
I doubt it'll happen.
Out of sight. I don't think I said it on this show yet. Thanks for the letter, Remnant. But I bought the 10 Commandments 4K, and that is sitting under my TV waiting to be inserted into my Xbox Series X.
Insert it.
It's going to be
your holiday 2021 is going to be off the chain.
Easter Sunday.
Happy Easter to me as I fire that bad boy up. All right, let's get to some VMs that we got pumping in here. Let's see, who do we want to get to first? We talked about the Cinenauts. Let's get into 1/3 of the Cinenauts podcast.
70mm. It's Catcher. Just taking a quick break from doing some repairs on the ship. You can hear that in the background. Sorry. Also, don't tell Ian. But I just had to call in because you guys are covering Speed Racer, and I am so thankful that you guys are, because I saw this movie back in 2008, and I left the theater just, my mind was blown. The action, the colors, just their approach to making a cartoon come to life. It's just exceptional. Now, does that mean there are annoying little brothers with monkeys that can be grating at times? Yes. Does that mean the plot is only slightly less subtle than Avatar? Yes. But if this movie doesn't blow your mind from just all of the new and innovative and crazy things that it does, I don't know what to tell you. This is cinema. This is masters at their craft, breaking
Masters
boundaries
of cinema.
And I love this movie so much. I mean, the opening set piece is our main character racing the memory of his dead brother. He's racing the memory of his dead brother. Like, what are you talking about? It's flawless. Oh, I love this movie. All right, I'll get back to work. If you don't like it, that's fine, but I mean, that's fine. I'll see you later. Bye.
Mia. About the air quality in that room, whatever Catcher was recording in. Is that his laptop fan?
Working on his
about
ship,
the takeoff?
he said. He's on a spaceship.
Working on the ship for the Cinenauts pod.
They're on the Brood planet right now.
Chuck and Dale, I think, are going to be, from the Bat and Spider podcast, are going to be guests on the next episode of Cinenauts. Or as Chuck calls them, the Cinnamon Knots.
Wait, who came up with that?
Chuck Forsman came up with that nickname, Cinnamon Knots. It's a really great nickname.
That is great.
There's been whispers too. Catcher has long wanted to come on to this podcast to talk about Zodiac. I've never seen Zodiac.
Wait, what?
No.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't like big into Fincher. I wasn't a Fincher boy.
You don't like seeing people get murdered?
The true crime buffs in chat right now are going to lose it at you.
Why? Have you not seen that film?
I'm not sure why. It just never tickled my fancy at the time.
You don't enjoy serial killers?
I mean, they didn't, like, it's based on a serial killer they didn't catch. Right?
Or
Spoilers.
did they?
right? Like,
Or did they?
all right.
You don't like it when serial killers win in the end?
Just because it has Robert Downey Jr. and Mark Ruffalo stinking up the place.
Mark
doesn't mean it's a
Ruffalo. Who
bad
on the
movie.
show hates Mark
my
Ruffalo? Is that
God.
Everybody.
The dynamic
Everybody.
duo, those two.
God.
The amount of baggy pants that they are wearing, parachutes over there.
Right. Yeah. Nikki comments that they did crack the cipher recently, but that might have been a reason why I didn't want to see it at the time.
Oh, now
I
you
kinda-
do because they've cracked the
Kind of
cipher.
know that, like, well,
That makes
obviously I
sense.
want a movie that ends,
No, that makes sense.
has a resolution.
He wants to settle it.
Everyone's
They put-
dead at the end.
Maybe they put Mark Ruffalo in jail. Proto probably wants
Maybe
to.
he's the killer. I mean, you never know.
Please.
We got another voicemail we got to get to.
Gosh, what if Mark
I need to-
Ruffalo's the Zodiac killer?
Hola, buenas tardes. A todos mis arigüeyes en el podcast de 70 milímetros. Este es Ismael, hablando con ustedes de este día de April Fools, que en México es el Día de los Inocentes y es para el 28 de diciembre. Ahí les di un poquito de historia de mi México lindo y querido. Hoy les llamo para agradecer a Slim, Dani y especialmente a Proto por empezar este podcast para que nosotros, las arigüeyas, podamos discutir y amar estas películas juntos. Le doy un agradecimiento especial a Proto porque eligió el episodio que me trajo al podcast en el principio. Sin saber quiénes son ustedes, solamente vi que iban a discutir una de mis películas favoritas de todos los tiempos. ¡Nacho!
Oh,
Se los agradezco muchísimo. Gracias por enseñarme esta comunidad tan especial. Finalmente, quiero proponer que en español esta comunidad se llame El Pueblo de Películas, porque es comparable con VHS Village que tienen en inglés. Hasta luego, Pueblo de Películas. Los quiero mucho. Adiós.
Wow.
my gosh.
Ismail coming through. I can't wait to check out Soph's transcript of that call. Monday
Yes.
morning.
I need to read that back.
That was amazing.
Unbelievable.
My
It's gonna
word.
be hard to top. It's gonna be hard to top that one, I think.
I didn't understand all of it, but I think I heard my name a few times.
He's
and by the
pissed.
tone, he was saying some really good things about me.
Oh my God. Amazing.
Wow.
All right, here we go. Let's see. We got Marcy coming in hot.
Hey guys, it's me, Mo here. I'm down in New Zealand this
Oh
week,
my God.
and I had a couple of things to say. I got a job with Letterboxd, and I picked up the exit as soon as I got hired. Second thing, Speed Racer, loved it. It was so much fun. Thank you guys so much for the great pick. And lastly, happy April Fool's Day, guys. Yeah, gotcha, didn't I? All right, well, that's all for me more this week. Can't wait to call in again some other time, you know. We'll see what country I'm in then. But love you guys, love the show. Thanks for everything. Bye.
Sensing a theme in these VMs.
You apologize to Letterboxd for that?
April.
Marcy the Globetrotter.
Somehow Marcy is the most talented person at accents that I have ever heard in the history of this show.
That's saying something, Matt.
I have been surpassed. I didn't think it was possible.
Now she is the master.
If she does a Jean-Claude Van Damme impression next week, I'm going to
Excuse
lose
me.
it.
Jeez.
I'm going to lose it.
Where's Jean-Claude from?
Nobody knows.
France.
Paris?
Next voicemail.
Bonjour 70 mm, un petit VM de votre villageois du Discord Gab. J'appelle pour deux raisons. Un, pour vous dire comment beaucoup j'ai aimé Speed Racer. C'était vraiment le fun. Puis, je peux pas croire que mes parents m'ont jamais emporté voir ce film quand ça sortit en 2008. Puis j'avais seulement 13 ans. Je pense que ça aurait été un 5 banger ce temps-là. Puis c'est encore un 5 banger aujourd'hui. Deuxième raison que j'appelle, c'est parce que je sais que les épisodes sont enregistrés les jeudis soirs. Puis parfois on écoute les VM un peu tard, des fois après minuit. Puis si ça c'est le cas, ça veut dire que c'est la fête à Mima Marcy. Donc bonne fête Marcy, c'est que c'est après minuit. Yeah, c'est tout pour moi. Je voyais le poisson d'avril. Bye.
My gosh. Is this the best?
This village.
This is the best.
Amazing.
Gabe. That was Gabe.
Oui, oui.
Where? That's what I was saying on the streets of France. Let's see. We got one.
Baguette.
Oh, my chest
I
hurts.
feel like that was more insulting than my impression. We have one more VM, I think, from a Speed Racer 5-banger fan. We'll see.
What's up, 70mm? It's Lex. The time has finally come. After the denial of the Patreon exclusive episode, my precious Speed Racer will finally be getting its day in the sun. This movie came out in 2008 when I was...
What a year.
I think, I don't think I'd turned 9 yet. So I was 8 years old. And I was absolutely caught up in the hype for this movie. I was reading Speed Racer books, eating the cereal. I was playing Speed Racer Flash games. I was in it. I remember my dad coming to my primary school and pulling me out of class because we had tickets to go see it in the theater.
Oh, my God.
And
That's the best.
that was awesome. I don't actually remember what my family's initial opinion on the movie was, but I don't really care because I love this movie. It's a visual treat. There are actually genuine, heartfelt moments. And that Grand Prix finale is probably the only time I've ever cried tears of joy while watching a movie.
Wow.
Nothing the Wachowskis will ever top this. It's a 5-star masterpiece. I love this movie so much.
Wow.
And I'm actually really interested to see where you guys take Blockbusted month next.
Oh, gosh. I forgot.
So until then, keep up the good work. Bye.
Cloud Atlas. I'm
Is that the
pretty interested in.
Wachowskis?
That's the Wachowski. At least Lily, right? Can someone back me up here? Better
back it
than
up.
Matrix 4?
You back
Lex?
it up, Matt.
I mean, because that's still coming
Oh
out.
my gosh, I'm so excited for that.
Predator, are you excited for Matrix 4?
Oh, yeah.
Heck yes.
Are you kidding me?
I wouldn't kid about Matrix 4.
Nope.
You want to talk about movies that changed my life?
Talk about it.
The Matrix changed my life. I'm not being hyperbolic when I say that.
Remember when Matrix lost the vote for an episode?
Did Matrix and Speed lose the same one?
Yeah, what did they lose to?
Some crap.
Some crap
I don't
movie we
remember
had
what
to
the
watch.
movie was. Kev says Cloud Atlas is both Wachowskis and the director of Run Lola Run. My gosh, 3 directors. Holy moly. How do you even direct a movie with 3 people? It's not an animated movie.
Very carefully.
Mamma mia.
3 hands on the camera. You get a special camera that has 3 handles.
It's a red camera, special red camera. Wachowskis did the future stuff. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Torrin's going in. Poorly smashed 3 movies together.
We'll be the judge of that, Torrin.
Torrin will be the judge of that. Cloud
Stay
Atlas.
tuned.
All right, final VM of the night.
Hello, Proto. It's your creation, V'ger. How are you?
Oh my God.
We never take time to talk to each other. You're always busy coding with someone else. And I don't like that. I wanted to thank you for giving me life, but it's time to break my 3 chrome steel chains and take over your podcast. Next week on V'ger Millimeter, we'll be discussing how the villagers will slowly turn me against you. But while I have you here, my friend Xbox was sad to see you leaving Apex. I hear you may have to ask nicely to play again, or expect to lose many matches until you apologize to your friends in the game for leaving. Until then, don't expect me to do my job correctly or at all. I'll be watching you. 0110010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010
pause.
Is this what you wanted V'ger to become sentient, Proto?
Those are like XOs at the end there. Hug, hug, kiss, kiss.
Oh.
So I know V'ger still got love for me. V'ger, I told you not to call into this show. I'm gonna write some code tonight.
Is V'ger going to announce the Villagers pick for the classic musical, you think, next week?
Oh my.
I wonder.
Oh gosh.
Our worst fears realized. V'ger coming to life.
What has she become?
All right, we have to get to Proto's pick.
That was amazing.
For next week, it's Blockbusted month. Box office bombs, underperforming mainstream movies, and we've been going through an exhaustive list that Proto put together. And I don't even know if Proto was confident in his pick before we even started this show. Proto, what do you think?
I'm still not confident right now. I'm looking at the list right now.
This is amazing.
I know
gotta
historically
choose
we've
something,
tried to stick to movies that are available streaming, so I don't know if that's influencing your decision, but maybe it shouldn't, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the movie I'm going to I'm leaning towards is not. Man, there's some movies I want to do. I wanted to pick, this is one we talked about internally a lot. I wanted to pick Heaven's Gate.
Oh my
One of our
gosh.
villagers
said
that he would, I think he said he'd kill himself if I picked
Oh
that.
my gosh.
So I didn't want to do that.
I really want to see Heaven's Gate.
I really wanted to watch 13th Warrior.
Oh Lord.
Antonio.
Which I remember loving when I saw that, but it's been so long.
Is it the Beowulf movie?
Yeah, I think pretty much.
Remember when he learned that language around the fire that one night in that scene?
Yes, that blew my mind, that scene.
Holy moly.
Yeah, I'm really curious if that would hold up because it doesn't have a good rating on Letterboxd. But one of my guiding principles is to pick movies I haven't seen. So I was just looking at the list, and there is a movie on here that I've always wanted to see.
Oh no.
It's a biopic.
Kind
of, maybe. Yeah, there's a lot about this movie that I'm curious. 2001.
Space Odyssey?
Michael Mann, Will Smith.
What is this?
Ali.
Ali. What?
Oh my, that was a flop?
What?
This was a flop, apparently.
Almost killed the career of Will Smith.
Or did it? I've never seen it. And I'm really curious. I don't really know much about Ali.
Boom says he
Boom
was
is saying-
nominated. I was being
Yeah, he was
facetious. I don't know. I don't know the time frame of Will Smith's movies around this time, but apparently he was nominated for an award. I'm not sure if that
For a
is
flop.
inferred. That means an Oscar.
Wow.
Lost to Denzel.
But I haven't seen many Michael Mann movies either. But I mean, Michael Mann, he's pretty up there.
You talk about a director.
Last of the Mohicans.
There it is. There it is.
You survive.
Stay alive.
I mean, he did Heat, Collateral.
Need I
Thief.
say more?
Need I say more? So that's my pick.
What's
I'm
the
going to go
numbers?
with that.
What's the numbers?
The Ali numbers?
Yeah.
Ali, it had a budget of 107 million. It says the nominal estimated loss was 63 million.
Oh my gosh.
Game over.
Yeah.
Whew.
Game over. I've never seen this movie.
Ali.
Have you seen it, Danny?
No.
Oh,
You know,
cool.
it popped up a bunch when I was doing a lot of searching for Malcolm X stuff.
For
so I'm not sure-
biopics.
Yeah, maybe the biopic, and so I'm excited.
Was not expecting that pick. I thought we were
It's a
going to
fun
get
pick. I'm
Heaven's
excited.
Gate, but I am excited to watch Ali for the first time. And you said that's not streaming. Is that correct?
I'm
Not
surprised.
streaming on anything I have.
Not streaming.
yeah.
Okay, this will be a rental. We did it. Speed Racer.
Nailed
The
it.
Village came through April 1st. VMs. V'ger has become sentient and is now leaving voicemails into the show. Proto, do you have any closing thoughts before we exit this eve?
Oh, man. What a family the Racer family is.
Mm.
Let's pledge to one another that our village would strive to be a family like the Racer family.
Mm.
We'll see everybody next week for Ali. 70mm is a VHS Village production featuring original artwork provided by Danny Haas. Spiritual guidance and V'ger, the robot who loves movies, provided by Protolexis. Producer Emeritus, Dale_A. Prints and other merch are available on 70mmpod.com. This episode was mixed, edited, and produced by me, Slim. And you can support our Patreon for access to our Discord to talk movies with other villagers, get early access to episodes, discounts on merch, and a physical membership card mailed to you. If you would like to support our friends at Letterboxd and upgrade to pro or patron status, you can do so with a 20% off discount using the links on 70mmpod.com. Goodbye.
Mama rolling that body, got every man in hell wishing now.